This is VRoc. 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 Chops. This is VRoc Chops.
All right, welcome back, Chop Nation. We back with another dope percussionist, another great interview. We got Mr. Brian Sterling, percussion instructor from Alcorn State University. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. So listen, I did something backwards. So right now, we're gonna clap our hands. I'm gonna give you a little drum roll. And we gonna roll. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming on, man.
Chops.
Hey, man, it's my pleasure, bro. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, for sure, man. So we're gonna jump right on in. We're gonna start these same old questions, bro. So first question number one will be, what high school did you attend, and what college did you attend for the people that don't know?
Man, I attended McKinley High School in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. University. I went to Southern University, Baton Rouge, Louisiana as well.
Okay, cool, man. We're gonna go to the next one. Then you answer that real quick. So, what is your favorite drum rudiment, and why do you consider that to be your favorite?
My favorite drum rudiment is actually the single rattle McHugh, and why? Because it was so hard for me to learn it, and then when I did feel like I had it, my drum instructor, Mr. Derek Hilliard, came back and said, "Nah, all that's wrong. You got to learn it this way." So it was just a great challenge for me to get behind that rudiment and learn it the right way and get it perfect in his eyes, you know?
Okay, cool, man. That's cool. So we all have those moments, when we little kids or whatever it may be. What was that moment for you that you were like, "Hey, I want to play drums. This is what I want to do"?
Actually, it started for me in church, to be honest with you. And I know a lot of cats say that just like my church, when I was a kid, we never had a drummer. When the choir would have musicals and stuff, I would be that kid running to help the drummer get his stuff out the car. Hey man, my Brian, can I help you?
Yeah.
This cat by the name of Ralph Woods in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, gave me my first pair of sticks. Started playing the drums, and then seeing Jason Jones in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, around McKinley High School all the time, seeing the things that he was doing, I wanted to do that. So I had to align myself with people that went to McKinley High School, and I watched them, I studied them, and pretty much it took off like that. Me being, a drummer for McKinley High School.
Cool, man. That's what's up, man. So what is one of your, what doesn't matter, whether it's from high school, college, teaching, whatever. What's one of your favorite drum memories that you can recall off the top of your head?
One of my favorite drum memories is, wow, it's so many, bro. Just, my first challenge session, my first chop session, I want to say we was out behind the barroom after a game at Southern or whatever. My drum instructor was standing there. I can't remember who it was who was playing. And, we was going head and head, chopping back and forth. Or we was running back then. It really wasn't chopping. So, a rudiment, open, close, open, who can be the cleanest or whatever. And my drum instructor, Mr. Derek Hilliard, I give a lot of props to him because he got me to where I am today. He stood back with his arms folded and was like, I told y'all, don't mess with him. Don't mess, leave him alone.
Yeah.
Once I heard him say that, I was like, okay, I'm official now. I'm official. Yeah, I'm that's one of my top memories, man. Yeah,
man. I know that would have to be a good feeling, man. All this time you putting into it, and you finally hearing the okay. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
cool, man. So, what is your biggest takeaway from being a percussion, from playing drums, that from you learning and coming up the ranks, that you translated over to where you are now in life and how you go about how you live in life.
That one thing right there is to always be humble and realize that you don't know everything. You
Mm,
tell everybody the story that transitioning from just being straight Southern to opening my mind and opening my heart to
mm,
Alcorn and everything that Alcorn has, showed me or whatever. Because just coming from Southern, I never knew nothing about Quince. I had a stigma in my mind that Quince was horrible, but
mm,
at Alcorn they have Quince and it show you a whole nother world. So my thing is, you never know everything. You
mm,
it's always room to learn, and as long as you learning and being humble, you're always going to advance yourself and progress yourself to being better in your craft.
yeah.
That's one thing I take from this whole experience, this whole journey of not just being a drum instructor but being a gig musician,
Mm,
is always room to learn. No
yeah.
matter where you at, no matter who you are, there's always somebody you can learn from.
Yeah. Cool, man. Cool, man. I like that answer, bro. So let's jump back in the beginning, bro. We gonna start all the way back in McKinley. Where we started
Mm-hmm.
from. I'm gonna give you a fact. The current band director at McKinley graduated from Whitehaven High School, Mr. Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
Yes, sir.
yeah, man. So I learned that a couple of years ago. I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to McKinley High School. Y'all got a Haven guy over there with you all.
Oh
So
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
man. So those ties run kind of tight. So cool. So you started in ninth grade at McKinley, or did you what year did you go to McKinley? How about that? Let's start there.
I was at McKinley from fall '94 to spring. So I started as a freshman, and I matriculated through the ranks all 4 years.
All right, so let's start at ninth grade, man. What was that time period like? That was what your influence. That's who influenced you the most to go into the drum thing. Let's start at ninth grade. We're gonna go from 9, 10, 11, 12 grade. Just a little bit of each year that you can recall, man. So starting out ninth grade, how was that experience? What was that like? What was going on?
Well, coming from being one of the top kids in middle school, it's like a culture shock going into the actual marching band realm, because my middle school, it was, just stage band,
Mm-hmm.
up on the stage and playing concert music the whole time. And I was the top kid or whatever. So, you get to McKinley High and you realize you back at the bottom again.
Mm-hmm.
Percussion instructor was Jason Jones there. And, out the gate, hey, man, this is not where you came from. You got to learn an our way or you got to go.
Yeah.
That was my first lesson right there. And from then on, that's where my humbling started. To where, hey, sit back, shut up, learn what you can learn, and just make sure you don't get kicked out and make it through all 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, so,
So
so
so let's start here. So you get there, you learning. What was that moment for you when you feel like, okay, your freshman, you feel like, okay, I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to understand this thing a little bit better. How did that transition you preparing you going into the 10th grade?
well, I'll put it to you like this: the upperclassmen at McKinley, because McKinley has a rich history in drum sections, from even before me,
Okay.
and they process of making you better. And one of those processes is pretty much a mental game. You never knew you was good as a freshman. They
Yeah.
never told you. They was constantly on you. Hey, you need to do this. You need to do that. Do it like this. But they never did once come to you and tell you, okay, I see you. No, they
Mm,
kept you humble in a way to where you always had to keep growing and had to keep asking them for knowledge or whatever.
mm,
So it's like, you always wanted to push and be better as a freshman.
right.
And that pushed me into, being that sophomore, to where, they actually opened up and was like, hey man, you was killing the freshman year, right? And that's when they let you in
Mm,
on the little head games that they was playing with you.
yeah.
And they told you, hey, we couldn't tell you that you was doing good. We wanted you to keep pushing. We want you to keep grinding.
Yeah.
So that's how that transition was going from being a freshman into sophomore.
Mm. So what was like one of the so McKenna, I don't know the Baton Rouge area rivalries and stuff like that. What was that game, freshman year the rivalry game that y'all, or rivalry event or whatever you guys may have had that like, okay, this a little bit different. I want, it's a little bit harder this particular way, or it's a little bit more intense. Like, what was that game for y'all?
Man, that game had to be McKinley versus Capital. It done kind of died out throughout the years, but back then around the 90s, that was the game that everybody in Baton Rouge was in, no matter what school you went to.
Mm-hmm.
Like you marching into Memorial Stadium in Baton Rouge, and you seeing all of these people, and you seeing that sea of red and gold across the field. You seeing this sea of blue and white across the field where you marching to for your stands, and it's like, wow. It's like you taking back at it. It's like, like a Bayou Classic in Baton Rouge for high schools.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an experience, man. Just an experience to be a part of that rivalry.
Yeah.
To this day, me and some of the guys from Capital, we go back and forth about which band was better.
Yeah.
It was great, man. It was a great band.
I understand that, John, perfectly. We just finished a segment. Yes, well, uploaded yesterday, but Sunday we did a segment on Whitehaven's rivalry with Fairfield High School, and it's exactly how you explained it, man. So cool, man. So once you got, you kind of going through the ranks, did y'all have any particular battles, going from 10th grade, 11th, 12th grade, that stood out to you, that that kind of help mold you as far as being a percussionist and understanding a lot of the things that you had to prepare for as go through battles and stuff.
The rivalry that grew between McKinley and Glen Oaks. And to this day, those guys are some of my best friends, like my brothers. Keith Johnson, he played tenor drum, outstanding tenor drummer. Jeremy Chris, outstanding snare drummer over at Glen Oaks. Damon Royal, cymbal player, man. That was actually my crab brother.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that rivalry, it was a friendly rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
And outside of band, it became some other stuff. But, just preparing for that game, seeing those guys across the field because they had the same playing style as us. They was at Southern when we was at Southern, watching Southern practice, and we imitating the stuff that Southern does. They imitating the stuff that Southern does. So we just trying to see who's going to do it better.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the guys from Southern would come to that game. So, we on both sides of the field trying to, just be the best drum section that we can be, going back and forth, man. So I would say that game, that school would have been the school to, prepare for, as far as, back then, and that rivalry right there.
Mm-hmm. So, hearing you talking about it, it's kind of easy to hear why you chose Southern. But let me ask you this: as you transition from your 12th grade year, you're to go to college, were there other schools that caught your interest as far as like you attending or possibly attending, and what made you finally decide on, hey, I'm gonna go ahead and stay at the house and go to Southern?
Honestly, man, and this is a funny story. I actually wanted to go to the University of Michigan. If it was the University of Michigan, I wanted to go to UCLA.
Okay.
It's crazy because I just like the colors.
Yeah.
That's what had attention, But then the drum instructor at Southern, Mr. Derek Hilliard again, and I mentioned his name a lot because he's played a big role in my life, man. Like being a percussionist as well as being a man and a father, you know what I'm saying? Just him coming down talking to us. And, he was like, you need to quit playing and come on. Stop playing around. So, like, okay, Mr. Hilliard, I got you. and that's how I ended up picking Southern. And then I wanted to have that S on my chest after going to a couple of Jackson State and Southern games, going to the Bayou Classic, seeing what they do down there. I had to have that S on my chest.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are featuring the South University drum section.
Yeah, man. So for you, it's kind of like in Memphis, we have people go to other schools, but like those schools that stood out the most for us was Tennessee State and Jackson State. And so,
Mhm.
hearing you talk about, what stood out for you was, the Southern, the S, and I get it. So let's talk about Southern then. When you going into Southern, man, what was that experience like? You can could put it all together from freshman year. And how many years did you march at Southern?
I marched 5 years at Southern. That's not typical.
Mm,
This was one of those cats that stood out with Dr. Griggs at the time, and he used to always call me his ace in the hole. And I want to say uh, he did that a lot because I wasn't one of those guys that just stuck to the snare drum.
mm,
Actually played and marched on the cymbals and tenor drum, bass drum,
mm.
and the snare drum throughout those 5 years. So it was like whatever we needed in the drum section, my man Sterling, he's gonna step it up.
Yeah.
That's how I was able to do 5 years and become a leader throughout those 5 years. Again, it was the same type of mentality at Southern that it was at McKinley because the drum instructor at McKinley marched at Southern.
Mm,
So he instilled the same values to where as a freshman it was a humbling experience. You learned everything that you could learn. As a freshman you didn't have no say, you just do what you're told. As a sophomore you still learning, you have a little leeway to do whatever, but you're still learning. Junior and senior year, you paving the way and setting the example for the guys that's coming behind you because
mm,
not just be a guy that's in the band or whatever. You want to leave a everlasting mark to where your name is still mentioned after you gone. So it's like, you do what you have to do and you contribute to the band and leave, self behind so you can have that lasting legacy after you're gone. And
mm.
something that, Derek Hilliard taught me, Charles Smith down in Baton Rouge, leave that lasting legacy to where when you are gone, your name is still lasting throughout the ranks.
Yeah. Ooh, do the one I like. So man, you saying during your time there you play pretty much every part of the drum section. While you were there, it reminds me of Cos. Somebody he was at Alcorn 1.2, but
Yeah.
when he was at Tennessee State, he spoke on, he played snare drum, bass drum, I want to say tenor drum. I think the only thing he didn't perform on was cymbals. Um, so yeah, that's a huge thing. I was funny when I was doing the thing with the guys from here in Memphis with Fairland, and we was talking about people doing. I afterwards we were reflecting. I remember like I did. We was talking about a particular year, and for myself personally, I did, and I've always been heavy, but this particular matter of fact, my sophomore year, this particular drum battle season, I let the guys hype me up. Matter of fact, the guy we spoke of named Terrence Norris. I was
Mhm.
doing some on the quads because I play set too. I play set, so I could move around a
Mhm.
little bit. And so man, we was speaking. He hyped me up because I don't know what happened to our Quince for this little short window during the drum battle season, but
Mhm.
I ended up playing Quince for a couple of drum battles competitions. And so um I was like, man, that's crazy. I let him gas my head. Cause Trees, he had that personality that you gonna do it anyway, cause he's just so
Mhm.
cool. He make you feel like you the best thing going. Like, man, yeah, man, go. So I marched in playing quads at an event before, so I get it, man. I was the same way. I did a tenor drum. I played
Yeah.
tenor drums at a performance in high school, and so I get it. Whatever you needed, it, man, you gonna jump in there. So let me ask you this, because
Mhm.
and I'm not knocking or nothing like that, but Southern has a tradition that does not, they don't change it at all. Why is it so? Uh, what makes it so? I don't know, I want to say hard or difficult, but y'all stay the same. Y'all very consistent. Y'all the model of consistency at Southern. But how time progresses, things change, people evolve, and y'all got players. I'm not, I know y'all got players, but like that those traditional cadences, y'all don't go. I don't know the history of the book or whatever, but it's like y'all stay right in that same page of what y'all doing. Why is it like that with you all? Well, with Southern, I'm sorry.
Uh, I would say that something that Dr. Griggs taught us, and pretty much it's simple. If it's not broke, then don't mess with it.
Mm-hmm.
The formula that they're using, to my knowledge now, because I've been out of just the southern realm since about 2011, to where I
Mm-hmm.
opened up and just started studying everybody else. um that's what works for them, and that's what they're gonna stick to.
Mm.
uh, and pretty much it's like, how can I say it, because I really can't speak too much about southern,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's like it was always a band type thing. It wasn't the band and then the drum section. It wasn't the human jukebox and then funk factory.
uh-huh.
It was always the human jukebox.
All the other.
And funk factory stepped away and they had a gig on their own or whatever. That's when you'll see a little bit more from them. But as far as at football games or whatever, parades or whatever, they're there as the band.
Right.
And, that's something that has worked for Southern all these years. And honestly, I really don't see them defraying from it.
Yeah, I get it. I understand. And they people still coming. So
Right, exactly. So if it's not broke, don't
right.
try to
I
fix.
get it. I get it. I promise I get it. So let's speak. Let's jump to this. So where you are now as the percussion instructor at Alcorn, how did you end up in this particular realm in that position? Let's talk about your role to becoming a percussion instructor at Alcorn after leaving Southern. What makes it one more Southern question? Who is your biggest rivalry? Is it Grambling or is it Jackson?
Biggest rivalry. Back then, Jackson was a rivalry, but it wasn't the biggest. To be honest with you, like media has really blown it up to where it is now. But back then, Grambling would be the biggest rivalry because, okay, you have the Bayou Classic, and that's a whole weekend long, and then that's over to Mardi Gras under the bridge at like the Orpheus Parade or the Endymion Parade, to where you have a bunch of Southern cats on one side of the street and a bunch of Grambling cats on the other side of the street. Now I don't know if it's still like that, but that's how it was when we was coming through college or whatever. That following parade season, because we did march parades back then. we'd be under the bridge joining back and forth.
Yeah.
Hey, Grambling was the biggest rivalry.
Okay.
And behind Grambling, we had a fierce relationship with the guys at Texas Southern.
Mm.
Pinson and Ren, we all had a relationship to where we would go hard at the games, and then after the game, either we would go to their hotel if they was in Baton Rouge, or they'll come to our hotel if we was in Houston. We'll chop it up, and then we'll go out to eat afterwards. So really, the Jackson State game, it wasn't as big as it is now. It was big, but it wasn't that big.
Okay, I got you. So yeah, now let's go ahead and let's talk about this path to Alcorn, man, where you are the proud percussion instructor there, man. So how did you get there?
It actually started when I was at St. Martinville High School in St. Martinville, Louisiana. I was doing my thing under Dr. Everson Morton as well. Me and him, we've been running tight since fall 2000 at Southern University. That's how we met.
Okay.
And he got the call in summer 2012 to come up to Alcorn, in which I was still doing my thing at St. Martinville. He hit me up one day. I was on the road going to take my son to meet his mom in Atlanta, and he was like, "Bro, what you doing?" Like, nothing, just taking a little ride. He was like, "I need you to come through." It's like, "Okay, cool, no problem. What you need?" It's like, "I need you to come up here to Alcorn. I'm gonna talk to the band director and see, if we could pull you in." Man, I'm good where I'm at. I'm gonna still help the band director at the high school. He was like, "Nah, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you that I need you to come up here or whatever." So it was like, he gave me that call. And me, I'm a humble guy. It took some thought. And my mom was with me, and she was like, this is an area you haven't been in before. Or just test the waters and see what's up. Cool. So, and that's really how I ended up at Alcorn. L pulled me in. We talked to Dr. Murray, which was the head band director at the time. He was like, it's all good. Come in and do your thing. The rest is history.
Yeah. So cool, man. So I know we've always, had a pretty good relationship as far as like, if we needed you guys for something. So what are some of the well, let's, like you said, you started out from Louisiana, you look down on Quincy, and you have to grow and learn. And so what are some of the biggest things that you could take away as far as your growth? Like you said, you learn from the students in a regard because of you coming into something that's unfamiliar to you. So how was that process for you as you was transitioning into them, and what did what was your goal or what you were trying to bring to the table for them?
With every relationship, Vince, bro, it's like you got to establish trust. This is something that I've grew to know, as far as coming through McKinley, coming through Southern, working with Nate Heyman at Washington Marion High School, because that was actually my first gig. Heyman pulled me in under him in Lake Charles. So shout out to him. Just learning to be humble. So when I got here to Alcorn, I talked to the guys. I didn't do too much. The thing I wanted them to know was, yes, I'm from Southern, but I'm not here to change you. I'm not here to turn you into Southern North or whatever. Take what you guys have and just, expand on it. So what I did was I got my sticks and strap, and I lined up with the guys as if, I was a freshman in the section. I stood with the tenor drummers. I learned them. I stood with the quints, and that's how I developed my love for the quints. Jeremy Ross, I that's my frat brother. I give him all the props. This guy was great at his craft. You know what I'm saying? I watched him, and I started to learn and love the quints. Braxton Mitchell.
The bad boy upset too, man.
Yeah. We call this little guy WAP. Dario Ellis. Those guys will put those quints on, man, and just be going to town. They be dancing and doing the head motions and stuff. And wow, like all this to the quints. So yeah, man, those guys I give props to and shout outs to, bro, because they took time to just let me be there to study them and watch them, man. And it was a humbling experience, and I use that a lot because I'm a humble guy. I don't really talk too much, man, but just transitioning and earning trust, letting them know that, hey, look, I'm not here to change you. I'm trying to learn. I want to make Alcorn better.
Yeah.
Once my coworker Steve Harper,
Yeah.
once he saw this, because people don't know, Steve had some doubts in me when I first got here. But me and Steve, we got a great relationship, man. The day I called him and I was like, Steve, I'm worried about the drum section. And I went into depth about why I was worried about the drum section. And we talked, and he was like, Sterl, stop talking. Man, he went into, and it's kind of filling me up a little bit because that's when I knew I had Steve's trust. Steve was like, bruh, you are for the section. I have no doubts in my mind now. You for the section. And right then and there, I knew I had Steve's trust, which was going to matriculate to the section
Right.
because, the section trusted Steve more than they trusted me at the time. And when Steve went to the section about me, that's when they opened up to me more and received me more than what it was when I first had got them. So I say all of that to say, just establishing trust and being humble, learning the system before you just jump in and try to take over.
Mm-hmm.
That was my whole thing at Alcorn.
Yeah.
Learn before I try to just say, nah, do it this way. And then being an example. I'm not just gonna go in and just say do it like this, do it like that. Nah, I'm gonna show you that I can do it your way, but then improve on it, make it sound a little better, play it with some dynamics, play rudimentally. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Yeah. So earning trust was the big thing. That's the biggest thing for me when I got to Alcorn. Not just jumping in and saying do this, do that. Earning their trust and learning the system, man.
Yeah, man, that's the sign of a great leader, man. To follow first, and then try to implement. Don't come in, and everybody have ideas or visions or goals or plans. But at the end of the day, when you go into something that's established as as an Alcorn or Jackson or Southern or Tennessee, whatever school you're going to, if you're coming in new, it's always best to go in and learn to adapt to what they have, and then
Right.
build, man. So because you'll get what does the saying, you attract more bees with honey than with anything else.
That's it.
Yeah, man. So yeah, that's dope on your part, man. And hearing you saying that you strapped up on every drum to that's awesome too, man. And that's what it will take to be especially as consider yourself an outsider coming into somebody else's home, and they automatically gonna think, man, why we got somebody who's like this, you know what I'm saying? Because I
Right.
and I thought like, hey, why we got this and we can get that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So man, shout out
Mm-hmm.
to Everson Martin for that, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, man. So cool, man. So what where are we at now with Alcorn, man? What you guys got going as far as like not pandemic wise, but just overall, like how what do you see? What has been the biggest changes, improvement, not changes, but biggest improvement since you've that you can help say like, yeah, we did this together since you've been
Um, we've gotten Alcorn on a bigger media stage.
there.
I can say from just establishing a media team and getting the brand of Alcorn, the brand of Sounds of Dynamite to the masses.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Once upon a time, you'll see a clip here or a clip there, but just putting in the work in the band room, cleaning up the product in the band room. So when we get to the outside, we have something vicious to show to the masses and just getting that to the rest of the world. So
Mm-hmm.
I say as a staff, starting with Dr. Murray when he was here, that's one of the main goals that we wanted to do. Like getting Alcorn to the Honda Battle of the Bands, getting Alcorn lined up with doing some of these major parades that we would like to do, or getting Alcorn lined up with the Cracker Barrel Battle of the Bands. That's something big now. And
Mm-hmm.
like I say, just getting Alcorn out there to where people are just they're saying more than just okay Alcorn or hey you Alcorn. Nah, we want people to start saying, oh, that's Alcorn.
Yeah.
And that we want people to start recognizing us. So, that's something that I can say that we have done as a staff over the last 9 years that
Mm-hmm.
I've been here. Just built up the brand of Alcorn and the Sounds of Dynamite.
Yeah, what you just made reference to was like, oh, okay, all corner. That's what it was, for me some years back. My band director, high school band director Walter Banks, his um daughter, she was in the band at All Corner. I remember when I was in school, we went down there to play. Actually, we played. I want to say we did a halftime or pre game down there one year when I was in school,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw Alcorn. I was like, okay, yeah, it's just Alcorn. No disrespect, Alcorn. I promise I'm not. But it's just for me because it was just a different type of viewing for us. And so when cars got there, we looked at Alcorn and a total. Even myself, I was like, oh, okay, like you just said, okay, Alcorn. And
Mm-hmm.
then from that point to where you are now, like the boy is something serious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it definitely grew that way, even for the Memphis guys. Like when that during that period, a lot of my students that I had at the time, they gained a lot of interest in Alcorn. They were like, man, I'm going to Alcorn because
Right.
before that, we won, not too many of the drummers from around here was talking about Alcorn. And so what you said you guys have built together, it definitely shows because that interest levels is top tier. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Top three programs for a lot of kids. So what I'm saying, and it's continuing growing. One of my guys is with you right now. Well, actually, I got two, but I had one from high school, and
Mm-hmm.
then I got another one. So what are you what is your expectations when you going out there recruiting and bringing students in, and what are you looking for, and what do they need to expect from you guys, that's for the people that want to attend Alcorn?
Honestly, what I'm looking for, I would honestly say is not what everybody else is looking for. And I'm gonna be real with you, Vince. What I'm looking for is a blank sheet of paper.
Mm,
Sheet of paper to where they can come to Alcorn and we can write a new formula. And once we done with that formula, you're a better man or you're a better young woman when you leave this program. It's like we go out, we look, well, I'm gonna say me. When I go out looking for drummers, I'm not looking for somebody that's chopping because you can chop till the cows come home. That don't mean you're gonna get in with the rest of the section and blend with the rest of the section. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm looking for somebody that can be impressionable and just be humble, man. That me throwing that word around again, humble, because it's just something big with me. Just somebody that can be humble, somebody that can be taught, somebody that's going to actually study the craft and be a better young man or a better young man, better young woman when they leave this program. That's what we look for, or that's what I look for when I go out to recruit drummers. What I think they should expect from me is professionalism at all times. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna joke when it's time to joke, and I'm gonna get down and I'm gonna fuss when it's time to fuss. But it's all a part in growing and teaching these young men and women how to be better individuals for when they lead a program. And that be our biggest goal, not just music and marching and stuff dealing with band or whatever. It's about becoming a better individual to go out into the world and live your life as a man or a woman.
Hmm. Cool, man. And it, it's very simple. It's not a hard formula to go by. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple, and simplicity works best for a lot of people. And it's showing what you are, man. You know what I'm saying? Just what you're going for, and it's very very, because honestly, a lot of kids today, they know they're good, and those be your biggest problems. The ones that are really good, but when you have those mid to lower level players, you tend to get a much better response. You're gonna get more work ethic for the most part, because
Mhm.
taking those mid to lower level and putting it with the people that started at the same level, they built themselves up, they're gonna stay there. Stay there, you know what I'm saying, and they're gonna build up to that. And that keeps you going, man. They can keep you in rotation, man. And that's dope, man. I know. I know. I'm gonna speak on him. I'm gonna bring him up because he's just one of my favorite people. But Darren, he's down there with you, man. And
Oh
when
yeah.
I tell you, one of the hardest, matter of fact, not one of, he is the hardest working guy that I've ever had. That's from teaching in high school to where we are at Oklahoma. Nobody
Mhm.
outworked Darren, man. And he's the example of what you're saying, a blank sheet of paper. I know he is. You know what I'm saying?
Man, let me tell you about Darren. Darren Clark. I'm gonna say his whole name because I
Uh,
want you to know Darren Clark. Darren Clark comes through here every day. Matter of fact, Darren Clark just passed by my window and looked in. Bruh, me and Darren have so much fun together.
yeah,
Like, even when we in the bedroom and I'm not on my full discipline tip at the moment, I'm messing with Darren.
yeah.
Darren, my guy, man. Like, Darren, he gonna work for me. Darren be here before time. When
Mm-hmm.
I on Darren in class, because yes, I'm gonna say this for the masses. We check on you while you in class in the music building.
Mm-hmm.
On Darren, he doing his best to take his notes and everything. And Dr. Morton and Prof Harvey classes, man, Darren is on top of it.
Yes.
I can't say enough about Darren Clark, and I'm gonna keep saying his whole name, Darren Clark, because that's my guy.
Man, well, hard work. And he's on top of his business at all times.
Yeah.
And you gotta love him. You gotta love him, man. Darren, he'll send you 72 72 messages, Mr.
Oh
Smith.
yeah, that's him. That's him.
And what's fun, I'm gonna tell you what I didn't know about Darren till pretty much he was leaving. Darren plays piano, like, and he can play
Oh my
piano.
goodness,
I didn't know.
bro.
I like, Darren, you just not saying you play piano, man. Because he was coming with me on mallets, talking about this. Can you show me this on the mallets, marimba, this, that, and the third. And so we get through all that, and then he sent me a video of him playing piano. I said, "Darren, why you asking me about marimba music if you can play piano like this?" Yeah.
Man, Darren sat down to the piano, I want to say about a week ago. And I'm like, Darren, what are you doing? And he just put a finger up and he turned around to the keys and my mouth was wide open. I think a couple of professors came and put their head in the door, and that's Darren playing on the piano. And the thing about that is Darren plays from ear.
Yeah, yeah.
Darren is on the piano and he plays from ear.
Mhm.
So I mean, I'm gonna have to push Darren to put these sticks down and go get some professional piano lessons so he can be greater. Because you know what he told me, and I'm gonna tell you this about Darren. he told me he wanted to be a drum instructor when he got, when he got done with college.
Mm-hmm.
And correct him like, Darren, no, you want to be bigger than that. You want to be greater than that. You want to be a band director, or you want to be somebody that go out and actually perform this as a profession. A lot of people don't know about me that this is actually a part-time gig for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Moore had to use me as a reference and let Darren know this is a part-time gig for me. I'm a professional musician on the side. I gig. I'm not at Alcorn all the time. I'm on the road. That's why, in my hashtags, road warrior all the time. I'm always on the road. But
Mm-hmm.
we want him to maximize his possibilities and get everything out of that potential that he displays. So getting him into some piano classes to where he can start identifying some of that stuff that he playing is a goal that I have to help Darren Clark out, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's all about growing him, man. I love that dude, man. He a good guy.
Oh yeah.
He gonna always send you a message, but yeah, he a good guy. He gonna make sure you know what he talking about. So,
Oh yeah.
and you got another boy of mine, Ryan Hollenshed.
Oh man. I'm surprised he not stuck on my hip right now. That's that's my shadow, bro. Like
Boy,
when he came to us, like I knew he was gonna be something serious in this drum section. Like I say, when I'm out, I have no worries because Holland She got it. Holland She got it. I tell him what I want, and when I come back, it's the way that I need it.
mm-hmm.
Like Holland Sheet, that's my go-to for everything. Like I go to him for cadence.
That's your ace in the hole.
Oh, you know it. You know it. He even cut my hair from time to time.
Oh man, he ain't touching me. But yeah.
Yeah, man. Holland Sheet, that's my guy, bro. That's one of my section leaders for this year. I have high hopes for him for after he graduates, man. I can't say enough about him as well.
Yeah,
Just one of those ones that then came and started his legacy as a freshman and didn't wait till he was just a senior to start doing stuff for TOP and Sounds of Dynamite.
yeah, man. Shout out to them boys, man. Shout out to Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Darren. I had a little Brandon there for a minute. Shout out to little Brandon, man. But shout out to
Oh
you,
yeah. Oh yeah.
man. You, Steve, the whole staff at Alcorn, man. You guys have definitely, put things at a bigger perspective for you guys. And I know y'all not finished yet, but y'all doing awesome things, man. They sound great. I remember when they came
Thank you,
into
man. Thank you.
out of the drummers here, man. I was like, them boys ready. Well, let me take they ready because y'all had ladies in the section too. So man, yeah,
Well,
man.
I mean, I put it to you like this, and I'll tell anybody, Vince, just learning about everything, learning about the history of Alcorn and the drum section and everything. Alcorn has always had a solid foundation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's easy, or it was easy to help usher into this new era of what we have now of the drum sections.
Mm-hmm.
And and that's something that I tried not to defray from
Yeah.
with these guys. I want them to always learn that history and never lose those old cadences that helped build LP here at Alcorn. You can't let that go. And that's one thing I can say I did learn from Southern, in which you mentioned it earlier. They still have that core of what they play or whatever, and they're not defraying from it.
Right.
I want that same thing here. Those old cadences that those older guys played in the 80s and 90s and early 2000s, we got to hold on to that stuff. And we can't lose it or leave it where it is because, we want to play what's bumping now. You know what I'm saying? Everything can't be bumping because what Alcorn really was built on was being technical.
Mm-hmm.
Alcorn was a very technical section.
Mm.
I don't want to lose that at all.
And I say, I can refer even with the conversation we had the other day. That's probably one of the errors or one of the regrets that probably we have here at Whitehaven, because a lot of our old cadences from the 80s, they got phased out when people went off to college and came back and they started teaching the college material. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, we're gonna play Jack State, which is fine, it's cool. But we did, well, not me, because I didn't have it, but back then, outside of what was working for us, and then it got, as time progressed, it got lost in the sauce. We have a couple of that people can remember that we gonna work on. But but yeah, it's definitely important to keep that tradition. I know Tennessee State, they real big on keeping the tradition. Yeah, they bring your new stuff, but the old guys like, man, don't
Right.
forget this, man. You gotta, and I get it, man. It's definitely needed. You gotta have that balance. It's like doing music history. We going all the way back to J.S. Bach and T.P. Bach and all that stuff. So you
Right.
doing that old stuff. So you can't lose it over time. So cool, man. Cool, man. Man, let's see. Let's get some more. Let's get some information in, man. For people that may be interested, that's watching this, they want to get in touch with you all to try to get into Alcorn or requirements or whatever you got going. What do they need to do? What do they need to search or?
Anybody they can email me directly, B Sterling at soundsofdynamite.com.
Mhm.
You can go straight to our webpage, soundsofdynamite.com. For percussionists, the audition requirements are to know the original 40 rudiments, to be able to play them open, close, open, be able to sight read, have a prepared piece for me. When it come down to their prospective instruments, like tenor drum, bass drum, snares, tenor drum, bass drum, cymbals, and quints, be able to play a nice call out. Let me see what you can do on that instrument that you want to play when you get to college, because you have to audition on snare drum. I'm gonna just go ahead and put it out there. We not into turning nobody away. So I'm gonna just say that if you play tenor drum and you have to audition on snare drum, I just need to know that you know how to play the rudiments and just a general knowledge of them. I'm not gonna grade you as hard as I would grade a snare drummer. You know what I mean? So when people see that, I need them to know that. Don't get discouraged if somebody says to audition on snare drum and you play bass drum or you play cymbals. Just to make sure you have a general knowledge of the rudiment and how to play it. So that's what I'm looking for as far as requirements. I will and can say that here at Alcorn, we are a family environment. That's what we pride ourselves on. Once you come through those gates and you say that you're going to be a part of the band, you're instantly family. And that's how it is in this band room and on this beautiful campus. We're a whole family atmosphere. So, that's the requirements, and that's what we have here at Alcorn.
Yeah. Cool, man. And listen, I know pandemic messed us up this fall, man. We supposed to be working on linking up with each other, Cahoma and Alcorn. So, man, hopefully next
Right.
things go to plan. Well, as we pray they get back to normal, and we got some time, man. We can kind of definitely work that out, man, because you guys are definitely uh someone that we can learn from. So
Well, I mean, let's put something together for after March. We can do that.
okay.
After March, we can do that. Because I want to say we're going to shut down band towards the end of March.
Okay.
And kids prepare for finals and everything with all the different struggles that we have as far as, the pandemic and everything. And we're going to let them concentrate on schoolwork. But if the drummers are free and they're not too far behind, then we can set something up, man.
Man, definitely, bro. Definitely, man. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yes, sir.
Definitely do that. But man, listen, man, I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you stopping by and chatting with me, man. And we learned a lot, man. And definitely gonna have you back at a later date for a follow-up interview with some stuff and if things changing and all that stuff. So cool, man. So man, I appreciate you, Sterling, bro. If you ever need me, man, reach out, man. I'm always here, bro. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
cool, man. So for everybody else at Chop Nation, always remember the chops don't stop. Y'all be good.
This is VRoc Chops.